4, 3, 2.
Hey, Beverly Hills 90210 fans, it is now time for 90 News, where we look at all of your hot takes with your hosts, Brian Navarro and Pete Ferrero. It's time once again for 90 News. Hey, we are here on 90 News. Brian Navarro and I, and our special roving reporter will be with us in a second. Brian, how is everything going on Reddit?
It's bustling. It really amazes me. Every day there's like 20 plus posts. It's insane. We've had a lot of growth in the past few years. So
This Reddit page, you started, when did you start this? Around the same time as we started the podcast, or a little bit?
maybe a little before. This was like 6 years ago. I was still in high school, I think. When I
Right.
started, when I started on there. And yeah, I think the reboot, the little soft reboot that happened helped get a lot of more people in there. Now,
Now it's
pretty big.
huge.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And is anybody talking about anything? Pale Blue One wants to know, what is the Reddit page name?
It's just reddit.com /r/Beverly Hills 90210 altogether.
I mean, I subscribe to it and I get news updates nightly, and I see some of the conversations that are going on. There was a great.
What we wanted to do with it is I don't know if you ever went on there. There used to be the IMDb message boards.
Yes,
which are always
no
super
longer with
active.
us.
This was kind of an attempt to bring that back after those closed down, which we've been successful in.
Nicole Rose says, "Hey there." Linda Berg says, "So excited for this one. I love this episode so much." I don't know what we're talking about.
I think she's still talking about the Susan Brandon situation.
Oh, okay. I understand. So I want to play this real quick. We have a Patreon, and this last week I got to talk to the season 10 writers, and we got into some interesting stuff about where the show was going to go in season 11. We talked about that. That's on Instagram right now. But we covered, Brian, I'm sure you know, that at some point in the season 10, Noah gets kidnapped, and Dylan tries to save.
It's been a while, but yeah, I remember that.
One of the most intriguing storylines, and to have the two people that put that together on to talk about it was absolutely fascinating. And I'm going to play a clip from that. It's on Patreon now, and of course it will be on here on the regular show at some point, but the best place to see it is on Patreon right now. And this is them talking about the kidnapped plot.
And then Shay's nuts.
I mean, he's at a level of nuts that's like, I don't even understand.
Mr. Spelling was very traditional. Look at that action sequence. It's very much 70s style. It's like $6 man. It's like,
yes, it is.
Set up that gas is overflowing.
Yes.
Set up that cigarette is on ground for a long time. Cut back to cigarette.
Still there.
And so that too, like that is also what makes that sequence feel underwhelming and
or dated.
The biggest stunt in the 3 episodes that we watched was truly, and the stunt that I can't believe we were allowed to do, spraying the cast with champagne in that limousine was probably a bigger, more complicated issue than blowing up that van.
1,000%.
That is because of the hair and the makeup and the
it gets really, really good. And we dive into setting up all of that and where that idea came from. And I love talking to them. They're totally open and they totally have fun with some of that stuff from season 10. And also, though, there is some good moments in season 10 as well. So we do talk about some of that. Okay, so now we put up a poll. We had a really awesome episode this week where we covered Strike the Match. And there's a lot of things to cover inside that episode. Let's bring on our roving reporter, Larry Don Mullen. Hello, Larry Don Mullen. How are you?
Hello.
Where are you roving today? Are you roving around?
Just in my kitchen. I got up really late today. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I'm just trying to catch up on the day. A little bit late.
Yes.
I haven't walked my dog yet, so I might get interrupted if he all of a sudden decides he wants to get up.
You've been roving around all over the place. You were at a concert earlier in the week. You were at a party yesterday. Yeah, so I mean, you're just on tour.
Yeah, and I'm actually I'm hosting a boxing media workout for a new fighter who's getting signed to 360 Promotions. My friend Dave Jewish Lightning Schwartz is got to be signed by 360 Promotions. He's probably the first 88-year-old fighter to be signed, but he's got a tremendous regimen of cold plunge and red jello, and he's got to be out there battling.
That's amazing. What's happening at LarryMullen.com? Is there anything that people should be excited about?
I just got the cover art for the Pool Guys Kid, so we're starting. That'll come out late spring. I've already finished the sequel to it. If anyone would like to be a beta reader on the Pool Guys Kid crushing Cabo, let me know. Either reach Pete or reach me, and I will send you a copy. I haven't. I finished the sequel to it, and it's really good. And that'll come out the following year from Shadeland House Press. So yeah, I've just been busy with my novels. This bunch of now young adult novels, I really feel in the groove for. It's very 90210-ish,
I love it,
with lots of action too. So I think people will really, really enjoy it.
KMBSK80 says, "Good day, Larry." She's from Australia.
Good day, baby.
Lots that we covered in this episode. And we're going to cover The Big Hurt, which is the episode right after this episode, after the Strike the Match, which is exciting for this week coming up. When you looked back at this, Larry, were there things that really impressed you from this Strike the Match episode?
Well, I thought all the storylines in it were really strong, and all. Again, this was an episode which is leading to May sweeps. We've talked about this a lot, how this is the whole show is a manufacturing process where you have to hit the big storylines 3 times a year: November, February, and May. And so this is all leading to the May sweeps. And we got, Tara going absolutely crazy. The Tara stuff is unbelievable.
It's really good.
And then you've got, the big problem with Joe and Donna and the video and the suggestive video. And you've got, of course, the Brandon giving up an incredible job because he basically declares his love for Susan. And,
yes,
she's very selfish and very egocentric about it. She doesn't really get to see the fact he's got a grandpa to her. She just understands that she's losing a summer, which she really wanted. And she wanted his commitment. And so we have that. And we know where we're going with that. We know she's going to totally screw him by the end of the season, doing the same thing, but taking the job. And, so I liked all those things. I probably missed up another story. Oh, yeah. And then Stephen shrinking, we challenged that, again, part of the thing of creating these dramas was to challenge the relationship. We called it vertically integrating the characters. Push the characters together. Don't bring in other people. Push them together. What can divide them? What can cause division? Like real life. I mean, you have to get over these things, and that's what builds character.
It's interesting too because the Tara situation challenges the roommate, the living situation.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's like Donna and Claire get closer through a couple of things. One, Claire being all coked up. I mean, I'm sorry. Kelly being all coked up with Colin. And then inevitably Kelly coming off of that and then bringing in this stranger to come live with her because of some obligation that she feels to her through them living in the same recovery house. And so you challenge not only just relationships, couples, you challenge friendships as well on 902.
That's a key thing, challenging friendships all the time.
Yes. And in one way that you challenge the relationships is the way that Bryan and I are put out a poll on Reddit, a conversation about Brandon's choice to go on the road trip versus taking that job. And as you said, later on we'll find out that Susan isn't as loyal to road trips and fun relationships and adventures as she takes the job. So Bryan, what was the poll question and what were the results?
Well, it was, if you were in Brandon's shoes, would you take the Boston Globe job, or would you, stick to your guns and spend the summer with Susan like originally planned? And the options were Boston Globe. Oh, no, go ahead. Boston Globe, here I come, or let's go see the world's biggest ball of twine. And I'm not surprised at all by the results.
88% of people said they would take the job at the Boston Globe. Larry, what is your thoughts on that poll result?
I'm surprised, actually.
I am actually
Really?
surprised as well.
Yeah, because again, you'd think love conquers all. We really don't have a sense of what their intimacy is like, Brandon and Susan, but they seem like a pretty hot couple. As a young man, usually, you're speaking with, some other factors going into your decision. And I like Brandon's rationalization later on that, you know what, if I wait another year, they'll offer me more money and whatever, and I'll have a degree. So I kind of felt he had a backup plan. At the same time, he was going to do both of them. But yeah, I can see that. People today maybe are different. Maybe the people, people feel differently about themselves and their careers and women or relationships, and it's every man for himself.
Had ever been in a situation like this, Larry? A choice between a road trip,
Yes.
a venture, or
I did. In fact, this summer I met the woman who became my wife for all these years. I was supposed to go to England to study Shakespeare in London, and that summer I met my wife Dee hitchhiking on Martha's Vineyard, and I blew off the scholarship to London to be with her and to set up a little theater in upstate New York, to live on a communal theater with a bunch of other communal artists. And I lived in a chicken house. I lived in a chicken house heated by a wood stove, and we put on some pretty interesting plays up in Ithaca.
That's amazing. So you have been in a similar situation.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brian, did you get any comments from this? Did anybody say what they were thinking?
Just one saying that Susan was annoying in the situation, which you went over when we did the episode the other day.
She takes it to heart. You know
She does
what I mean?
the whole
She
guilt tripping
takes it
thing.
very personally that Brandon is even considering this opportunity. She knows that, I guess maybe there's a realization in Susan's mind where she has reached the conclusion that this relationship is probably going to end at some point soon, because they're going to be challenged. There's opportunities for both of them. They're both very smart students. They're both involved in wanting to go to different colleges. So I think she comes to the realization here that I think this relationship might not be for the long haul.
I think a tiny bit of it might also be jealousy to some extent, because they're both very ambitious and very driven. Part of her could have been thinking, why couldn't it have been me? They got this
Very good, Brian. Very good. Absolutely.
Yes. And inevitably, that she does, when the opportunity comes her way, she does take it.
It's a dog-eat-dog world. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I hadn't really thought about the jealous angle, but it's so true. It's so true. It's like in Hollywood, we have a saying, how can I succeed if my friends don't fail?
Lindy says, I don't feel Brandon should have broken up with her, even though she took the job. Horrible reason to break up. He had plenty of time to work after college. Why not take the trip and enjoy one of his last summers before graduation? So there you have it. Some people see the point of love and trying to keep it all together. All right, Larry, this week we're covering The Big Hurt. And we have Powerman 5000, a member from that, coming on to talk about that. And also we're going to conclude the big Tara and Kelly storyline. What are you looking forward to seeing in The Big Hurt?
Well, I want to see, I guess, how that, I haven't really seen that episode in a really long time, probably since it aired. I just want to see how, the end of the Tara Kelly thing, how we played it out. I sort of remember, I mean, I wrote the thing, so I kind of remember it, but I don't remember what else is in that episode. I couldn't tell you.
Well, we're definitely going to find out. Well, there's the whole Joe being very upset.
Oh, yeah,
He has a lot of notes. Yeah. So about the music video. So
yeah, I mean, this is a real thing. Again, when you're trying to have a very chaste relationship, and your girlfriend goes out there kind of wiggling her butt off for everyone to see. It's difficult to take. I mean,
she looks incredible on the thing. I sent Tori some of the outtakes from the clips that we had, and she just loved seeing all that stuff. So I know that.
Yeah, I mean, I had saved the clips because I thought it was so outrageous. I somehow put it away, but okay, I got to save this.
So thank you, Larry Mullen. Yeah, hopefully you find more stuff as you are selling and removing things from your storage. Yeah. Hopefully you'll find more little hidden treasures along the way. Yes. All right, guys, this has been great. Brian, any other last thoughts or takes on this particular topic?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
All right. So 88% of people saying they would take the jobs.
Yeah, it
And
just shows you
Reddit
what
is a tough
people are
crowd.
to.
Very
What's that?
career. What was that, Brian?
I was just saying, Reddit is a tough crowd. They're harsh.
Yeah. Okay. I think what Reddit is wonderful, and everybody there is opinions are valid and strong,
We appreciate them.
and
Yeah.
we really appreciate them. So I don't agree with you on that, Brian. I think they're I think
No, well,
Reddit's
no, I mean it in a fun way. You know,
I know. Yes.
they're very passionate and they're very opinionated.
Well, do they like Susan or no? I mean, the majority
Oh
like
yeah,
Susan.
Susan. In recent years, people have been turning around a lot. They like her a lot. Definitely a lot more love for her. A lot of people on there say that they wish that she was endgame with Brandon.
I've said that.
Mhm.
I've said that. Yeah, it makes more sense than Kelly.
Well, it was a great part. That's the other thing which we have to remember. You know, Brandon at this point, he's already asked Kelly wants to marry him, so he's really thinking about his future, about having someone he can settle down with. And Susan is a substantial woman. I mean, they would be an incredible power couple together. They're both real achievers. They probably would, it was something that he could really foresee him, going the distance with her.
That family looks incredible. The Susan and Brandon kids, they're up to really good things. That whole family right now. He's in the White House, probably. Brandon Walsh. He's in the White House in some place right now, still to this day. That character. All right, guys, this has been great. We will see everybody on Wednesday for the Big Hurt. If you need more content and you're just not getting enough 90210, you are welcome to go to the Patreon, patreon.com/Beverly Hills 90210. There's a lot of season 10. There's some season 9. There's some stuff that Larry and I did watching an episode. So there's just a whole bunch of stuff happening there. Okay, guys, this has been the news. We will see everybody next week.